Hi there, Bella friends. I'm back today with another process video for Bella Blvd, and we are celebrating Bella Blvd's 15th birthday this month in August. So I have created a birthday layout for you, and I decided to use our love song for a couple different reasons. I love the colors in this, and I'm documenting my birthday last year from 2022. And my husband had planned a surprise weekend for us, so he did not even let me know where we were going when we left. I had lots of questions, of course, but he didn't really tell me anything. So we ended up, we live in New Jersey, we ended up going to Pennsylvania. We spent the weekend in a little town there, and then on my actual birthday, which was Sunday of that weekend, we went to a concert. And he kept telling me it was going to be a romantic day, and it was like a romantic concert. It was the Duprees, which is a group of older Italian men, and we were probably the youngest people in the crowd by about 50 years, so that was kind of funny. So I'm documenting 4 photos from that day. I've got 2 of like the venue and the marquee, a selfie, and then a picture of the pizza that we had before the concert. So what I started with was I cut down that really pretty straight paper. Again, I'm using the Our Love Song collection. I think I said that in the beginning. And I want that to be sort of the main focus on the layout. And I just pulled out a couple different papers that I'm considering for my background. I liked that stripe, but I ended up going with the black and white crosshatch pattern. It's funny, when I see it on camera after the fact, I like it more than I did in person. But I like the black and white. Alright, so I went through the ephemera pack, and I pulled out all of the florals that were in it. I have the words and the icons. I went through both. I think that the florals came from the words, but I'm not 100% sure. I will say you probably need both packs because they mix and match so well together. And then I pulled out these little Polaroid frames, and I'm tucking them behind those photos. I decided I wanted to make 2 photo clusters, one on the bottom and then one on the top. And there were only 2 frames in the pack. I think I go back, I'm looking here to see, is there another frame? There's not, but I end up going with a tag. And I tuck the tag out the top of the top 2 photos. I spend a lot of time going through the ephemera packs. I usually put them all out in like a little bowl on my desk, but I have those bowls sort of tucked off to the side with another collection that I put a pause on. I want to go back to using it, and so I don't have the bowls. So I didn't empty it out, and it was a lot more difficult not emptying the pack out because I had to sort of shuffle through it. Later on in the video, I'm looking for a specific die cut that's in the pack that I see on the back, but I should just dump the pack out at that point, and I don't end up finding it, but I use something else instead. So it's definitely easier when you dump the whole pack out. Alright, so I got that tag tucked in there. Let's see, what am I going to work on next? Oh, I put some pattern paper behind each of my photos. I believe that my photos are 2.5 by 2.5. I think they're 2.5 by 2.5. So yeah, I originally thought I might do some color matching here. So I have the pizza and my selfie up on the pinks and reds section, and then I have the venue photos down on like the blue section. So I do match the pattern paper that I put behind the photos with those colors, but then later on when I start embellishing, it's a little difficult to keep like all the florals into blue in the bottom and all the florals to pink on the top, and then I end up adding some embellishing in the middle and all the florals to yellow. So I just sort of go with whatever colors I think match best, and that tone on tone color idea sort of goes out the window. Alright, so I'm just looking for some blue paper. I did have a lot of scraps left from this collection. I made quite a few layouts from it already. And then I go searching for another blue pattern paper, and I don't have one that I already cut into, but there's that pretty stripe that I considered putting as my background paper, so I end up using it. And normally it would really like gut me to use a full sheet of pattern paper just to back here, but I recently moved my scrap room from our second floor to our first floor, which was you know, a whole process. And in the process, when I moved it down to the first floor, I organized all my collections, and I have a lot, so I made a decision that I'm not going to worry about little things like cutting into a full 12 by 12 sheet of paper, especially because in this case I had a second piece. But I have so many scrapbooking collections and supplies that they will never get used up in my lifetime, even if I had my entire family scrapbook with me, so I am not going to worry about using a full sheet of pattern paper for a small thing. If I like it, I'm going to do it. That's my new motto. Alright, so I did want this a little offset. You'll see it's more to the right than, there's more space on the left than the right. And then I'm going to go ahead and get those in place. I do wait to put that top cluster down because I'm going to do my title work in the center, and then I want to position it. I want to make sure I leave enough room. So I found this word story from the word, I think it was probably the words ephemera. There's the icons and then there's the words. I think I'm saying that correctly. And so I want my title to be Surprise Birthday Story. I do pop up story there, and it does stay in that yellow section. And then the word birthday, I pull out the Aria font. And for some reason, I kept doubting myself that I spelled birthday wrong. I literally had to keep saying birthday. I don't know what was wrong with me at this point. But I know I spelled it correctly. So I put it out on my ruler. I like doing that because I can see how much space it's going to take up and also sort of what it looks like. But when I did that transfer there, they went a little wonky. So I end up repositioning every letter. But the nice thing is that there's a good amount of stick on the back of these letters, but enough, it's not sticky enough that you can't reposition, which is nice. You can move them around a little bit. And then I do have the Florence Alpha pulled out there, but I switched that color out for, I think this is the Peep color. It's gonna end up sitting on that sort of peep colored lighter pink strip, and I thought that the red was just a little too bright. So there we go, I got the word surprise. I do not attempt to put it down from the ruler. I reposition each letter, and then I pull my tweezers out to make sure that I get them all nestled in there. Yeah, I do a little bit of movement here. Off camera at the end, I do add some stitching through the word surprise. I also end up putting my journaling on some vellum right above the word surprise, and I stitch through the top of that. So you saw that in the final photo that was in the beginning, and then you'll see that at the end as well. But that doesn't come till the end. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is get that photo cluster down in the top, now that I know exactly where I want it. And I'm gonna pop out all the florals that are on the Chow Chip. Oh, first I'm gonna add this subtitle. It was a little banner, it says "Let the Good Times Roll," which I thought was perfect in a couple different ways. You know, we're celebrating my birthday, we are going to a concert, so I thought that was perfect. I think here's where I pop out all those florals that are in the Chow Chip. I do end up using all of them. And now I'm going to start the process of putting in my floral clusters. I leave all this in so you can sort of see my thought process and where I, you know, sort of move them all around and put them down. I use my edge distressor on the edge of every die cut, And then I think there is one big floral on the sticker sheet. I use my edge distressor on that one too. I think I end up popping that up next to the Broadway sign. But yeah, I wanted lots of flowers. I wanted them to look like they were tucking out the left side of the layout. This one I'm tucking in the behind the word story. And so I don't end up using all of the paper floral, the die cuts, the ones from the ephemera pack. There are a lot there, and I use a lot, but I wanted to bring in some different texture. So after I go through and add all of the paper florals, the chipboard florals, I pull out the Trinkets puffy stickers and I scatter them all around. And I use the pink set, the teal set, I think it's called Pool. I use the yellow set and the white set of the Trinkets puffy stickers to add some more detail, or add some more little florals. And then I also add in some florals from the puffy stickers that came with the Our Love Song collection. And then I end up adding in some epoxy stickers in the music notes. So Our Love Song is, I think it was originally intended as like a Valentine's Day collection, but it's very versatile and can be used for lots of different themes and stories. And I like the music vibe in it, but if you're not into that or that doesn't go with your photos, you can totally leave all of that out. I mean, the only musical thing I do end up adding is those epoxy stickers. I also am going to show you in a couple minutes that I'm not going to make you sit through the whole process of watching me tack all of them down, but I do end up using, I'm blinking on the name right now. I'm staring right at them in my craft room. Glue dots, there we go. I do end up using glue dots to adhere a lot of them down. I like the little bit of dimension, there we go, that glue dots add to things when you put them down, because they're not completely flat, they're just slightly raised, but I haven't found a foam tape that's that thin. So yeah, and I get my glue dots from Hobby Lobby. I like their brand. I think they are cheaper than Glue Dot brand or Zot's brand, and I like them a lot. So now I'm bringing out those Trinkets puffies that I just was talking about. These are awesome because you get hearts, you get flowers, you get a ton, which is so nice. It's not the kind of thing where you have to, you know, conserve or think, oh, I don't want to use them all up. There's so many on there. They really are an awesome, awesome product. Alright, so after this I add those epoxy stickers, and then I do come in with the puffy stickers from Our Love Song, and I add them, the circular ones, to some of the centers of the flowers. And then the last thing that I do is I add in some word stickers. I add some from the sticker sheet, the doohickey stickers, and then I do add one that is from the ephemera icons pack. And then you won't see it here, but off camera I type my journaling on vellum, and then I add it above the word surprise. So at the end you'll see some close-up shots of this. I will leave the links to find this collection at a couple different online shops. I'll also leave a link for the Bella Blvd blog. Definitely check out what's going on there. And check out Bella Blvd on Instagram as well. I hope that you have a creative, crafty day. Find some time to scrapbook today. Hope you've enjoyed watching this process, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.